You're scaling all the time. You're going from 20,000 to 40,000 per month on Amazon, but you're not making more profit. Actually, you're losing money and you don't know where the money is going for. In this video, I want to explain why this is happening and how to actually not do it and for you to make some money and some profit. So before we get into the videos, I want to tell you who I am, why you should even listen to me. I've been in the space on Amazon for over 5 years. I have personally sold millions in the platform, and now we run an agency where we work with over 25 brands, managing over 20 million in monthly revenue and million ad spend in ad sales. And I see a lot of P&Ls, a lot of balance sheets, a lot of profit figures for brands, and sometimes loss figures. And this is where I want to really dive deep and the best practice for you to avoid this. So let's get into it. One of the biggest reasons you're scaling, you're doing more revenue, but you're not making more profit is because you're not tracking your numbers. You don't know your gross profit margin. You don't know your net margin. You don't know how much more these extra sales you're costing. You don't know your ad spend, your ad sales, your ROAS, your TACoS, your ACoS. You don't know any of these numbers. And because you don't know these numbers, you're just flying blind. So how do you fix this? Very easy way to do it is get a simple software, something like Sellerboard, some profit calculator software. They're not 100% exact, but they give you some information on gross profit that's exact enough. Nothing will be as exact as an accounting software, which I strongly recommend for you to do monthly profit and loss figures and monthly management accounts, but that's a completely different thing. This is what I want to emphasize. You want to understand why you went from 20,000 to 40,000 and how much did that cost you, and are you cash flow positive or cash flow negative? From when it comes to cash flow positive and cash flow negative, an easy thing to do is look at your bank statements at the beginning of the month, towards the end of the month. Like, what's the difference? How much money came in and came out? And if you're cash flow negative, did you buy a lot more stock? And now you can sell more and you need to buy less stock next month. Know these things. It's not that difficult to systemize it. Keep it nice and simple. You can use Excel, you can use AI, whatever you want to do. A big thing I always also see is ego hiring. What is ego hiring? You're growing from 20 to 40,000, and instead of actually double down on what's working, you're starting to hire more people. You're getting someone to pack for you. You're getting an extra person to help you with messages and customer service. You get all these people that you cannot afford in your ego hiring. The key here is not to build a big business on paper and for you to say, I have a lot of people working for me. The key here is to build a big profitable business that you can exit or you can keep on scaling. That's the whole point of this game. If you're not building a brand that has some purpose, what's the point, right? And hiring 20, 30, 50 people when you can't even afford two is the mistake. Keep it lean and mean. This is the game of e-commerce. E-commerce is not the highest margin game, but you can do a lot of revenue. And if you understand how to do a lot of revenue with some margin, that's how you win. Now, what do you actually need for Amazon? This is what you need. You need stock, which of course you're going to buy. You need someone that understands ads, listings, catalog, SEO. You need that. So either you hire internally and you train if you know, or you do it yourself if you know how to do it, or you hire an agency. None of these are wrong. What is wrong is to do it yourself when you don't know, because you're going to burn a lot of money and it's going to cost you a lot. To get someone that doesn't know what they're doing, to hire internally and to train someone you don't even know how to train, or for you to think they know what they're doing and you're paying them something, but not only you're paying them a salary, national insurance and all that stuff, but you're also losing money because they're not managing things correctly. You can also hire an agency, and again, you can run into the same issue. If they don't know what they're doing, it's an issue. So before you hire an agency, check their track record. Ask for referrals. Jump on a call with them and see how they even think about Amazon. Can they give you examples of something they've done well? If not, think about it. I recently did a video about in-house versus agency. I dive in of what makes more sense. So you can watch it. I'll put a link below. Keep it simple. You don't need a warehouse because you can use a prep center. So that's one overhead removed. The good thing about a prep center is if it's good, they keep your stock, they send your stock. And because you're using Amazon FBA, you don't even need to keep that much stock. And you don't want to get the overheads of a warehouse. Also, you don't need a picker or packer because the prep center already has that. Nice and simple. They send you an invoice for whatever you use and some storage and you pay it. Nice and simple and easy. It's not an overhead, it's more a cost of goods, which is what you really want. I know brands and I've worked with brands that do 10 million in sales a year, and they have two people. They have a prep center, they have an agency, and one or two founders, and maybe someone helping them with customer service. And that's a much bigger business, and they're profitable. They're doing things properly. But I also know brands, they do 40, 50,000 per month, and they have 10 people, which is crazy. You cannot afford that. You have to manage these people, and you don't even have the profit or revenue to do that. Keep it mean, lean. You have AI now that can help you with a lot of stuff. You don't need more overhead. You need more revenue. You need more profit. And more importantly, if you need overhead, you better make sure that that overhead produces. It's not just something you're adding on. It's something that you need and it produces. Because when you're scaling a brand, it's all about what you need, not what you want to have. And also, going back to know your margin, remember, if you're doing $1 million in revenue and if you run it well, you can do anywhere between 100,000 to 300,000 in profit. You're not going to pay yourself that. A lot of it is going to be stock, a lot of it is going to be tied in some other things, but it's not going to be 800,000 in profit. So even $1 million in revenue, it's not as big as you think. That's why you need to keep it lean and mean so you can get to the point where it's much bigger. I mean, look, in my experience, I've seen many brands with huge potential kill their business because of overhiring, not knowing their margins, doing moves that don't make sense, running before they can walk. But really, you gotta be humble in a sense of, yes, you wanna achieve big things, but you also wanna make sure you keep it lean and mean, because that's how you grow a brand. Amazon have done right. It's an insane opportunity, but you need to understand how it works. You don't need big staff, you don't need big overheads. You need a great product that you know how to advertise and you know how to sell, and just keep on improving. That's what you need. As long as you can make margin on it, that's the game. And I'm going to mention it again. It's not about looking big. It's about actually being big and building something sustainable for the long term. I hope you like this video. And my goal is always the same. Be known as someone who really understands Amazon. If you choose to work with us, great. But I really want to make sure that if you look at this video, you're getting some value, save you some money, make you some money, save you some headaches, because I've experienced a lot of this, and now with the agency I'm seeing this times 25 because of the brands. Pain and headaches that I can save you, I want to save you. So this is really the goal of this channel. A lot more is coming. Stay tuned.